Uncle Dave, let's just jump right into this hideous, horrendous Duke loss that we saw. Welcome to Nephew and Uncle Basketball Banter, folks. But uh, let's just get into the end of the game, Uncle Dave. Duke just not being able to inbound the ball. Zion James just lobbing the ball up in the middle of the lane, and Houston has a chance to tie it with a three, and they wind up getting a dunk out of it. At that point, I'm like, all right, it's just caving in the floor here, and we're going to about to lose this game. Proctor,
Yep.
this is the front end of a free throw. He dribbles off his leg earlier before that. The whole
Yep.
thing just implodes in the last 3 minutes here for Duke, and Houston scores, what is it, 7 points in 15 seconds?
Yep.
It's just unfucking believable here. Just some of the things I wrote down. I thought Coach Shire made a crucial mistake subbing Maluwak out with 5 minutes left. I know you probably want to save his last few fouls there, but I'm sorry. This is the end of the season here. There's no more tomorrow if we lose this game. I did not like that move either. And you, through a coach's lens, just break down what you saw there in this game.
Well, first of all, I don't understand how your press offense has one of your better guards, Proctor, starts the play by running away from the ball, screening and going long. Zion James never ran the baseline more than like 3 feet. So then get him off the inbounds. Cooper Flag, again, they don't start their cut until 3 seconds out of 5. But the biggest play of this game is you're up 14 and you get a 6 point possession on fucking Gillis trying to get a rebound. And we have a
I
fucking
know, but
finger
a
hits a
terrible
guy.
call. For any of you
After
that think
all,
that, for any of you that think that Duke gets a favorable whistle every
yeah,
night, you just
get
don't
rid of
watch.
that tonight.
You just do not watch. And then, oh, by the way, on Cooper Flag on the box out, that's a
Oh
hideous,
God, awful,
hideous
awful.
call. Hideous
But
call.
again, but again tonight, the whole tournament has been won by comebacks by teams who have gotten offensive rebounds. And again, I've never seen so many dumb fans and announcers and analysts. Again, Florida won 2 games because of offensive rebounds. Tonight, Duke lost because of giving up offensive rebounds. The guy misses the three. We get a rebound and the game's over. All right, so we don't get offensive rebound. We don't get defensive rebounds. We don't take care of the board. We get beat on the board by 10. I told you all week. I told everybody all week, concerned about Houston, concerned about Houston. Everybody's like, oh, Duke's better. Has nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Zero to do with it. And I'm going to tell you something. I think John Shire's a great coach, but I'll tell you what. You'd have to win 3 or 4 to get rid of this one and you're staying in your mouth. Let me tell you something. You just gave away. I've never seen a Final Four game given away like this one. I've seen a game get to the Final Four given away like this one when Illinois came back on Arizona. But this was a gag. And I hate to say it, Houston did not win this game. Duke lost this fucking game, and there's a big damn difference. How do you have press offense on the one side of the floor? I don't care who the hell you're playing against in a press, and I've played some really good fucking teams in a press. If you run to the weak side and throw it in, you're getting it in. Flag runs away. Proctor runs away. Flag all night won't take a center off the dribble. Don't tell me he got a good look. He didn't get a good look. He shot a fucking fadeaway. Don't tell me he got a good look. So we got the 6 point play up 14, again off an offensive rebound. And then we get a fucking bullshit over the back call. And in the meantime, we had 2 shots go in and out. We don't attack the rim. We don't post up anybody. And again, don't tell me you got a good shot. You go to the basket and you make a ref make a call. And as I said, he's going to swallow the whistle on this one. And we didn't even give him a choice to swallow the whistle. We shoot a fucking fadeaway. You got to be able to take Roberts off the dribble all night.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Roberts is a fucking center. You should have fouled him out in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
I was watching it with my dad. I said, I'm sorry, Cooper Flag has to drive every time he gets the ball in this game. Every time. Every
Center.
time. Every time. Him and Mollywalk, I'm like, pick and roll, absolutely punish these guys. Does not have the foot speed on the perimeter with him there. And oh,
Nope.
by the way, folks, there's another play too. Zion James goes up for a layup. Juwan Roberts kills him, and no foul on
Yep.
that either. They reviewed
No,
it
no,
flagrant, but it's not a flagrant. It's just a missed call.
no,
Another missed call,
no,
by the way. But
no.
Duke in this game, you look at the breakdown. Duke is up 9 with 2:15 left. You have to win this game. Up 9 with
Yep.
2:15 left. You can't lose
Yep.
that fucking game. But again, Tyrese Proctor missed foul shots. This was
He
just
looked like shit all night.
yeah, yeah.
One of his baskets banked in from straight ahead.
And I'm sorry, Zion James, obviously Duke must have been practicing, their inbounds plays with him having the ball, inbounding it all the time, but he was horrendous though in this game. I don't know. At that point, you just have to maybe say, hey,
Never once ran to the left side of the basket and threw it away from the side.
how
You're
about
throwing it to you're throwing it to Con Knipple, who's a great free throw shooter, but not a good handler.
yeah,
So again, we're throwing it to him in the fucking corner.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
I would.
sorry. That's a staff problem right there. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. They
Yeah.
make more money than I'll ever make. But you know what? I'm not running the same shit 35 fucking times in a row. And I'm not starting my cut 38 feet from the basket
Well,
with 3 seconds out of the 5 off the
that was
clock.
that was the biggest frustration. The last two
Where are
minutes,
the fucking screens?
Duke ran what 5 or 6 press breaks.
Same
They all.
fucking thing Florida did. Where are the fucking screens for Florida?
Yeah.
Screen, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. They every inbound looked the same.
Well, that's not how we do it anymore. Okay, so you like fucking losing. Okay, good.
Every inbounds looked horrendous. It looked all of them. No, not one looked clean. And by the way, Florida, their inbound, their press inbounds was great. They had everybody on the baseline there. You don't know who's going where. I like that. You start everyone out of bounds. Just this is obviously this is a really and I was screaming at the TV at this game. I'm like, here it is, Duke. Now you're down one. You've outplayed Houston the whole game. I
Yep.
think they were up. They had the lead. I think for like
That
35
that
or
that's a
40 minutes.
momentum game. That game's over. I have no hope for us at that point.
Yeah.
You just know
Right.
that game's gone. So now you
Right.
just pissed away a championship.
Right.
You
Right.
pissed it away because you know what? You're probably going to beat Florida because Florida plays no defense.
Right. But
So the bottom line is you just pissed the shit away.
yeah. Zion James you've said it over and over. I'd rather have a dead ball turnover than a live ball turnover any day of the
Yep.
week. And Zion, he
And
just
again,
lobs the ball in the middle of the floor. I'm like, what are you
but if
doing?
you're going to lob it up there, Flag should be able to get it. He just didn't get it up there
Yeah.
high enough. You got to have it with an arm.
I was also screaming for this. I'm like, all right, your inbounds, your press offense inbounds looks terrible. I'm like, why don't you put everyone at midcourt and you have Flag seal his fucker on the free throw line and you just throw him the ball? Why don't you just do
Yep.
that? It was
Yep.
just
As
horrendous.
simple as that. And you know what's funny? Duke has not handled pressure in the half court all year long when a team really got up on them. That's when they lost the Clemson game and even a couple of games versus Wake Forest. But Houston didn't pressure them tonight till the end of the game. And then Sharp wakes up late, hits a couple of shots. The ref swallowed a whistle except for an over the back call, which was bullshit. I mean, unbelievable. Just a fucking gag. And Shire's going to put a smile on like Popovich did after he gave away game 6 versus the fucking Heat. But you fucking gagged that fucking game up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're going to go home tonight and you will not sleep. And all these
No.
assholes, and I'll call them fucking assholes, on the goddamn Duke fan page. Oh, well, they had a great year. I'm sorry. That's not fucking good enough
No.
when you're
No.
up 9 with a fucking minute and a half left to go to the final fucking game of the season. It's
Yeah.
not good enough.
No.
That
No.
means you're a narp and you never competed or coached or fucking played at a high level in your life. When you
Yeah.
get a chance to kick in the fucking door, you kick it in.
Yeah. No, there was a few bunnies they missed too. Zion James after a Cooper Flag miss at the rim, he had a great look and it rolled out. I mean, it just you look at the plays that were just gut wrenching in this game. And like you said, Houston they woke up in the second half. And you know what, Uncle Dave? Duke is up 12 with about 2 minutes left in the first half. I'm like, let's finish it up at least 10.
It's down to 6.
And Houston bangs a couple threes, 3 possessions. They hit 3 threes and they get it down to 6. I'm like, that ain't fucking good right there.
Yeah,
And
but the thing is, like,
uh,
they even withstood the 2 runs. They withstood Houston shooting well, and you're up 10 with like 2 minutes left.
well, that was
Game's
the
over.
thing. I think it was Grant Hill. Yeah, Iron Eagle and fucking Raftery were even saying it. They're like, Houston's playing better offensively here in the second half, and Duke is still up 12. Obviously, this is fucking, Jawan Roberts, who's not a great free throw shooter, he's a 60% free throw shooter. He bangs too. It's just like, oh my God, it's obviously gut wrenching this type of fucking game. And when Flag, I really thought Duke had it. When Flag hits, what was it here? I wrote it down.
He had a 3.
He had a 3 to put him up. I think it was 14. I think with
Yep.
what was it? He hits making a 9-point game with 3 minutes left. He hit a 3.
Yep.
I'm like that feels like we're gonna fucking win this game right here. But like I said to you earlier, Mollywalk Coach Shire subbing him out with 5 minutes left. I did not like that.
They never used the pick and roll for the lob all night. They used it once or twice.
No, they used it the whole tournament, but in this game they threw one up to Mollywalk earlier in the game and he got fouled, but they never went back to that though.
Yep. And
Oh,
we just got away from anything that worked. Proctor fucking looked like he was scared to death. I knew he was missing that 1-on-1. I had no hope. No hope. Look in his eyes. Looked in his eyes. I knew he was missing.
Yeah, he dribbled it off his knee too.
Yep, you knew in his eyes he was not making that 1-on-1. That shit was over.
Yeah, I had a bad feeling with it.
And then what kind of last play is that? You got 3.5 seconds. Why are you throwing a fucking Hail Mary?
I know.
Come on,
I know.
you're Duke. Help me with 35 fucking assistants and all the greatest fucking gear in the world. You don't got a fucking better play than that?
Yeah, I was screaming to that
then
too.
Go
I'm
ask
like,
a fucking high school coach because I got 1,000 of them.
yeah, you could easily inbound that ball close to midcourt, and that's fine at that point. You have almost 4 seconds left, 3.5 seconds left.
Give it to the guy in front of you.
Yeah. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
it's unbelievable right there. You don't have to put up a Hail Mary pass. It's not like there was 1 second left. So that was horrendous too. And you should have gotten a decent look there, and you get no look essentially. You get Proctor
Hey,
turning
bottom
around
line
there.
is, when you're a coach, your
Oh,
shit has to look organized. That's how you get judged. It's not always going to be executed, but it needs to be organized. And the last play wasn't organized, and the press offense wasn't organized.
the press offense though. In this game, Uncle Dave, you knew damn well there was a strong chance you were going to be in that exact situation. It's,
Yep,
you're up by maybe a handful of points, up by two or
yep,
three, five, whatever, and you had to inbound the ball, and you knew Houston that they were going to have a good press
yep,
defense, and yeah, and your offense was horrendous.
yeah.
But
We
you
didn't
look
fucking do anything all fucking day.
just
Just
unbelievable.
awful.
And you,
Just one of those losses where
yeah, it's gut
it's
wrenching.
gonna you're gonna fucking be sick for 100 fucking years. And you know
Yeah,
what? You should be. And
yeah.
that call on flag sucked, but you should game should have never been that fucking close.
But you look,
And
Duke wins the turnover. They win the. Go ahead, Uncle Dave.
that's just a game you'll never forget. That's
No,
worse than the fucking UConn 99 game. Just
it is.
worse.
Yeah, it is bad. It is bad.
Fucking horrendous.
And you look at Duke's stats and everything, a team breakdown here. No team has any fast break points in this game, by the way. Zero for both sides.
Yep.
That might be a record right there. But Duke wins the point in the paint battle. They outscore Houston in the paint by 4. The rebounds, though, Houston gets 9 more rebounds than Duke, and that's kind
Yeah.
of the story.
Offensive rebounds won that
Yeah.
game.
Yep, 18 and
Offensive
well,
rebound off the missed three, up three. They had got the stop we needed. We didn't wrap it up.
yeah.
You
No,
know, Flag's got to get more on the board. He's got 5 or 6 boards. He's 6'10". He jumps. He's got to get 10 boards.
there was also a play, Uncle Dave, too. I thought of you immediately where he
How
drove
many
to the
boards?
basket.
How
He
many
drove
boards did Malawatch get tonight? You don't think he got any?
Flag, he drives to the basket again with a couple minutes left. He slipped again. I don't know if you saw that where that
Yep.
happened again, but he didn't get a turnover on that. But yeah,
No
Maluak
rebounds
in
for
this game,
Malawatch.
he has zero. Zero. He played 21 minutes, he had 0 rebounds. How is that possible?
Yep.
Knipple had 7. He played excellent, I thought. He had a really nice game.
Yep.
Knipple.
Didn't
I would have
didn't get
loved
him
to have
enough
seen him.
shots.
Yeah, I was
Just a
gonna say
terrible,
if you're Coach Shire,
terrible night though.
you gotta get him a couple more looks, I think, than that. You know?
Forster was playing well, but he didn't go back in. Gumby was playing okay. Evans didn't really get a shot tonight. But I mean, bottom line is, fucking Foster was a dog, and he didn't want to fucking put him back in. I mean, I would have put him back in to handle the rock versus fucking Cyan James there for a second. Proctor running away. How do you start your press offense with one of your best handlers, a point guard first for the first 2 years, to screen at the 30-foot mark and run the other way? You don't have your guards run the other way. You have the
No,
bigs run the other
no,
way.
exactly.
I'm sorry, that's
Yeah,
bad coaching right there. You
yeah.
got 35 fucking guys on your bench. Figure that shit out.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, I'm looking at
What
the.
a fucking horrendous loss.
Yeah, it is bad. It is really fucking bad.
That's there are good losses that you say, oh, we played well, we just lost to a better team. Then there are games you just fucking flat out gave away. And then Calvin Sampson, who I usually like in the interview, well, as everybody's just talking about Duke and we're a good team too, he acted like a dick. So now I don't like him.
Right.
He acted like a fucking dick. Instead of being gracious and thinking that Duke gave the fucking game to us with help from the refs, he acted like a douchebag. So now you know what? I'll be rooting heavy for Florida on Monday, but I don't think it's going to work.
No, no. Florida, like we talked about it on our last show, they just kind of seem like a team of destiny. It looks like, with how good.
Florida's so careless with the ball, though. They make
Yeah.
such care. They dropped 3 wide open layups in transition today out of bounds.
Yeah. No, there were times
They're
they
just
looked really
careless.
shaky. Yeah, they looked really
They're
shaky.
just careless.
So
Just fucking careless.
yeah.
I mean, just fucking careless. That game
Well,
tonight, though, that might be the biggest disgrace of a Final Four game, semifinal game I've seen. I've seen, like I said, 15 with 5 minutes left. Illinois, Illinois with Arizona back in 2005, but this one's worse.
yeah, once it gets to the point where Houston's up by 1, I'm like, I just had no hope at that point.
No,
But
and
yeah,
they were going to swallow the whistle,
Duke,
but we didn't
Duke,
even make them swallow it because we shoot a fadeaway.
Duke from the 10-minute mark to the 3-minute mark, they have no field goals. That's it
Yep.
right there. But then Cooper Flag, he hits that 3 to put him up 9. I'm like, shit. Then what's this next play that happens
But
here?
what's the shots that we're taking with those 7 minutes? I mean, 2 of them went rimmed in and out, but like
Yeah,
what shots are we getting?
right, right.
And
Yeah,
like fucking just take some fucking good shots. And then like I said, Samson acts like a douche. I mean, fucking Shire tries to smile because he gave away a game. Hey, it's all right to be pissed off. You gave it away, dude. You'll never forget that game the rest of your life. You
no.
just fucking gave that shit away.
This play with
And I
James
tell you
though,
what,
where he lobs the ball up the flag, I'm like, you have a timeout in that situation. Take the timeout or take the 5-second call. Because once you go from 3-1, it's a whole different story. Then you're really fucking shitting a brick. But yeah, what's this play? Yeah, okay, so Knipple, then he got it to Proctor. Proctor gets fouled in 67-66 with 20 seconds left. He hits it long, and then fucking the flag. That's when he commits the foul. Holy Jesus Christ! Oh my Lord! Yeah, then fucking Roberts, of course, he hits two. Like I was saying, there's no way this guy makes two fucking free throws in this situation. He bangs them fucking both. And then this last play here with Flag, yeah, Grant Hill said he got a good look, but yeah, you're saying it's not, in
Nah,
that
he shot a
situation,
fadeaway.
you want him leaning in, going downhill, not fading away. Fading away is a bailout kind of there. But yeah, 3.5 seconds left, and then you just get this desperation fucking heave.
Yep.
But yeah, no, this is one, obviously us as Duke fans. This one really fucking stings. I really thought they had control of this game the whole game. Duke, they didn't take too many threes, 7 of 17 from 3-point line. So you do your job there. Houston just they get hot in the second half, and that's kind of also you got to give Houston
Again,
some
lost to one
credit.
of the older teams in the league. They have 4 losses
You've
this
been
year, all
saying that
four to the oldest
you've been
top 10.
saying that's Duke's Achilles
Saying it all
heel.
fucking week, and here
Right.
we are.
Yeah. You've been
And
saying
then,
that
man,
all year.
I don't care how talented you are, and I'll say it again. You got skinny fucking guys out there. I mean, you got that. I'll tell you what. That's a generational freshman. You might not get another one like him for 25 fucking
No, it's
years,
true. It's true.
and that's it. You know, winning with key freshmen. I'm sorry. I'll say it again. Next year, when we're right back there with Boozer and somebody who's in the Elite Eight game, it's just not happening. I don't
No.
give a fuck what you tell me. You're gonna have men somewhere else who are junkyard dogs and who don't have a fucking NBA contract coming. It means more to them. It just does.
That's exactly what happened with this Houston game. That's who the kind of guys that they have. Like you said,
Yeah, Sharp's not going to the fucking league.
yeah,
Maybe Cryer will.
they're all 23, 24, and like you said, this is
Yep, they're
probably
men. They're
this is
fucking got man
yeah,
strength. And I don't
yeah,
give a shit what you say. Flag's 18.
yeah, this is their moment. This is it for them for a lot of these guys. So
Yeah, this is it. They
you
gave
know,
it away, and you'll never get that game back. And you know what? Yeah, they'll all talk about, oh, maybe they'll come back. They're not going to come back. Why would you come back when you just realized you could do everything right and still fucking gag it away?
yeah,
That was fucking horrible.
yeah. Now the last 3 minutes of this game, Duke looks like they're just on an island there, just clueless,
Yeah.
and that's the game right there. You got to win.
They didn't even get the ball in the half court. I felt like it was a hockey possession, a man down. I felt like they had the puck in our zone for 3 hours.
And what makes it doubly frustrating is it's not like you have to advance the ball and then initiate offense. All you have to do is
No.
just pin down the ball, and they have to foul you because they're in a situation where they can't
Yep.
afford to let 30 seconds go off the clock. They
Exactly.
must foul you.
Exactly.
So it's doubly worse than that
You're up
actually.
6 with like 48 seconds left. That game's over. It's now, and then they took a shot. They got it to 3 with 34 seconds left. They have to foul you. And we didn't even get the fucking ball in.
Duke is up
We throw a
7.
pass. We
Duke's
throw
up
a
7.
pass. Cooper Flag 6'10. He's got like a 6'5 guy on him. We gotta throw it higher.
Yeah.
But we don't set any fucking screens near the ball. We set the screen at the 47-foot mark. By
Yeah.
then the guy's taking the fucking angle.
Yeah.
And
No,
we got a guy again. We have this new alignment now. We have guys just trying to take angles to the ball. Set a fucking screen. It's worked for 100 fucking years.
yeah. No, Duke's
We have to do new things. We have to do new things and be the smartest fucking guy in the room. How'd that work out for you?
oh, Jesus. Yeah. No, Duke is at one point they're up here. They're up 6 with 47 seconds left. You got to put that in the bag, that one. Like you said, when you're up that much with 40 something seconds left, they have to foul you immediately. They can't say, "Hey, we're going to, trap hard or whatever." They have to foul immediately. This is obviously out of all the Duke losses that are the most painful here, this is definitely going to be up there. This one, I think for sure. It felt like this was their year, especially when Flag he gets the N1 on the reverse layup and everything. It just felt like, all
Yep.
right, Duke's just making all the big plays here when they need them to. Just the last 2 or 3 minutes here just was fucking absolutely hideous and horrendous.
Didn't even get the ball above half court, and James ran the baseline only to the right, never ran it to the left.
Yeah. No, like you
And
said,
Flag again. Flag had good game numbers wise, but I'm sorry, all game I'm screaming. You have to. I can't believe they put a center on him. He didn't take him off the dribble.
yeah. Now
I'm sorry.
every time he had to go to the basket with Roberts on him, I'm like, hey, you got to take him off. Like you said, he should have been fouled out, early into the second half. That guy.
Yeah,
And I
he
know, like,
doesn't go by guys. He has to rely on that spin
and
move, and
here's the
that's
thing:
something that
the
in
times
the
they
NBA, he's not going to get to the basket if he ain't doing it here.
right, the times they sent help too. He's great at finding guys open at the last second. Flag. He's a really good passer. They've got dunks out of it. So
Yep.
there's times where he got doubled late, and he's a good passer. It's like, all right, if they double you, then make the right play. Then at that point, but they should have forced the issue, I think, with him with Roberts on him. I think that's a mismatch. And the times he did go to the basket and everything, he had success with it. So, he had a good game. He only had, there was only 7 turnovers for Duke, which was great. That was excellent. You probably, if you're a Duke fan and they only turned the ball over 7 times against this team, you feel like, all right, you have a great
Yeah.
chance to win this because I thought Houston, the only way they could win this is if they turned Duke over a bunch of times, and they didn't. But Houston, they get hot, from three after kind of having a lot lackluster first half. So 10 of 22, they finished from the 3-point line. Like I said, I give Houston some credit. It's not all Duke on Duke, but obviously, if you're a Duke fan, you have the lead in that situation. All you have to do is basically hit your foul shots and inbound the ball, and the game's over. There's no chance for them to come back. So you see this with Texas Tech and Florida. That's exactly kind of, you felt like you were reliving kind of their story right there with this one.
Not winning with freshmen. Say it once, I'll say it again.
No,
Sorry.
and Cal and Patino basically have said that. They're like, look, we're not looking for those
You're
guys.
not getting a better freshman than that and Con Knipple. You're not.
No,
You're
no,
not winning with freshmen because next year there'll be some other team with these kids all transferring where they'll be all fucking men.
no, no. That's the thing. College basketball, ironically, it's getting older now. With the transfer portal and everything like that in the NIL. So you're gonna have, I
They're
think, like
gonna
you
they're
said,
gonna push you around.
yeah, these teams that are going to be guys in there, plus 22, 23. I think, like you said, if you have a guy on there that's fucking 18, 19, there's no fucking way. These guys have 4 extra years of experience playing high level college basketball in a college weight room and everything. I think
Yep.
it's a totally different game at that point. So I don't know. Maybe that kind of was the case here, and I think Coach Shire definitely he has to own some of this here. It's not all on the Duke players. I think he definitely, like I said, it's really frustrating looking at this game because you knew damn well there was a chance where you're going to have to inbound the ball here 3 or 4 times successfully to win a game against this team, and they just weren't able to do it. So it's very, very, very frustrating. Obviously.
It's just a disgrace. It didn't
Yep.
even get the ball over half court to run offense.
No, no, like you said, what you should do is you inbound the ball to the weak side there. Do that, and there were several times too where you could run the baseline. There's no reason why you can't get the ball in, especially if you have the ability to run the baseline.
Run
And
the
they just,
baseline and throw it to Cooper Flag, sealing his guy. They
yeah,
did it once and he got fouled.
right. But
And they never did it again.
obviously like we go back to there was some definitely not favorable calls for Duke too. So like I said, all you fans out there that are Duke haters right
Oh,
here,
sure.
look at this game right here. Zion James, he gets fucking
Sure.
whacked. No foul.
Yep.
Cooper Flag, that is a terrible fucking call right there. That's a
Yep.
live ball right there. How the foul are you calling a foul
Yep.
in right there? It's
Make
anybody's
Houston
ball.
come down and win the game.
Yeah. So that was fucking horrendous. But yeah, obviously just too many mental mistakes, physical
Yeah.
mistakes. Obviously this is gonna haunt right here because it just felt
Oh,
like Duke,
yeah.
this was their year. But not every year as Duke fans, not every year we feel that way. This kind of year felt a little bit different.
Yep.
But Duke comes
Yep.
up short in this one, 70-67. But all right, Uncle Dave, we'll go over to the Florida and Auburn game. We'll definitely, I'm sure, touch back on this game before we wrap it up here. But this Auburn and Florida game, this was a good game as well, though. This was entertaining. This one, again, Auburn, I kind of felt like they had control for most of the game too, and they kind of pissed this one away as well.
Broom got tired.
Well, that was
Uh,
that was also what was said. Charles Barkley and Clark Kellogg said that. They said kind of Houston, Florida's depth on their front court.
and
Kind
I don't
of,
know how these guys are tired. They had 6 days off.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that right there was kind of the X factor in this game, I think too. But again, also Walter Clayton, he just proved that he's the best player on the floor. I mean, he has a monster game again, having 34 points, 11 of 18 from the floor. He just absolutely looks just like a different specimen out there.
And again, we've said it before. Auburn had a great year, but the way you lose can determine whether your good year is remembered or not. And so, Auburn has that game right where they want it, and then all of a sudden, fucking Florida yanks it away. And so it's a little bit better because you're fouling down the stretch and you're going to lose. But we've seen that a lot in this tournament. Teams have had amazing historic years, and then boom, they give it up, and it just erases it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Clayton's three to make it 69-65. I mean, he's just a guy all tournament. He's kind of having like a Kemba Walker run when he was at UConn, type of thing right here. He's
Hey,
just,
Glenn Rice, Danny Manning running. The bad news is,
yeah.
what the hell is Golden doing not doubling Broom? Holy crap. I mean, what is he doing? Is he sleeping?
What I was kind of perplexed about is why didn't he put Chinyalu on him, who's the kind of more filled out specimen? I thought he would have matched up better with Broom down low. I don't know why. I'm okay with not putting Chinyalu on him, but like you said, if you're going to have Condon or Golden on him or Howe, you have to then have a double team, and they just weren't doing that in the beginning of the game. Broom has only 3 points in the second half, so obviously they made an adjustment in the second half. But
Well, no, they didn't though. They didn't even double him. Broom came out a couple of times tired, and
yeah,
then he missed a couple of shots short. And then Chinalu did cover him like twice, but they never doubled the fucking guy. I'm like, what are we doing? And then their press offense was awful too.
yeah, yeah.
So somebody set a screen. I'm sending it to my buddy who's a Florida alum. I'm like, can you guys set a fucking screen, or is it just everybody's a genius now? You don't have to screen anymore.
There was also a play to Auburn in like the last, I think it was, like 20 seconds of this game. They're only down 4, and Kelly takes a contested three out of the corner there.
Yeah, yeah.
Fading away. I'm like, you can get a better shot than that at that point.
I think
So,
the '04 Final Four was in San Antonio too, and Duke gave that one away versus UConn, but that fucking got fouled across the wrist.
right with Reddick. Yeah, yeah. That's
And now the fucking the bullshit bully. Oh, we played in a lot of close games. Doesn't matter. Duke gave that game away. Nothing to do with close games. Nothing to do with close games. Duke just gave that fucking game away.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
6 point trip with that bullshit foul call. Total bullshit foul call.
Yeah, you're up.
6 point trip.
Yeah, you're up. Like I said, up 9 with
You're
two.
up 14. That game's over. You get
Yeah,
a stop there, and Cryer hits a three. Again, we allow him to shoot. He's only had an over 50% field goal percentage the whole day. We allow him to fucking shoot, and then we get that bullshit.
yeah. It
It's
was.
just awful.
Yeah, it
That's
was.
just that's just like, that's a loss where, like I said, the next time you're about to win a title, that you'll be thinking about that loss and how you're still paranoid. And that's how that works. And as a coach, you might not sleep for 5 days.
Yeah.
And if anybody doesn't think that's real, then you don't never done this shit before.
No, no,
Uh,
because you
just
never have that chance again. You never get this exact chance again.
before a big game, sometimes you don't sleep. I didn't sleep for like 3 days before a county final game because I knew East Hampton had lost. They were 20-0. They lost. I'm like, this is my chance.
Yeah,
I don't want to blow this. So all I could think about was, holy fuck, this might be the one shot.
right.
The best player in the county got knocked out for going like 1 for 21 on the night 2 nights before. Didn't sleep for days. It's
Yeah,
horrible because
right.
all you know, this is your one shot. Maybe I'm not gonna have a John Coop every day to block shots.
No, true.
You know that. And now I don't care. You could be up 10 with a half a minute left in 5 years with a national title on the line, and you'll be thinking about that game.
Yeah, this play here, Knipple drives, Duke is up 6, and Houston, the guy, I give him credit, he's got a great block shot on him.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then, Houston, what they take this down here, and they get it. This, I think it's Tanjay with this fucking ridiculous three that he hits here. It's just he could have gotten a stop here, and that could have fucking. You get a stop here. This pretty much ends the game right here. But he pumps fakes, flag goes flying by, and he hits the fucking three. The next play here, where James he lobs the ball in here, like I said, in the middle of the fucking floor right here. Just what the fuck you doing, man? And Wilson had a chance to tie it right here. They wind up getting a putback dunk. Now you're up 1 with 25 seconds left, and this is the play here where Proctor. Yeah, he gets fouled. And like you said, I just had a bad feeling. He's not shot well from the free throw line the whole tournament. This is the front end here. And then when fucking Roberts has 2 free throws, man, I'm like, holy shit. This is a game where you've had to lead the whole game. Then when you get a lead this late in the game, you just feel like,
Yeah.
all right, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen for you. But yeah, then this, oh gosh, just like you said, these last like 5 possessions here. The only way you lose is if everything goes their way. And that's pretty much how.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but flag on this play here, it's like, God damn it, man. Turn the corner and finish at the rim here. Don't fade away, man. Make him fucking blow the whistle here.
He never just likes to go to the rack. That's going to be a problem in the NBA. So he's going to have to play from 8 feet because right now he's not turning the corner ever.
No, this is obviously one that fucking stings, man. Jesus Christ. Like I said, you have control of the whole game, and you piss the thing away in the last 2 or 3 minutes here. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
I mean, like you said, you can't win a game in the first half. You could lose it, but my God, it's so frustrating when you have control of the whole game and you give it away.
Yeah. I mean,
Unfucking.
they got out physical, and we knew that was going to happen.
No, I know you've been warning about this with Duke basketball here the whole season. You're like, look, you get an older
Yep.
team, a more physical team, a more mature team in these last few minutes. That could be the difference right there. And these Houston guys, give them credit. They look like they never were shook or shaken. These guys, they definitely kept fucking.
All 4 losses are to teams in the top 10 age-wise. That's a fact. You
Yeah.
don't have to like it. It's not a fucking narrative. It's a fucking fact.
No, that's a pattern right there. That's not an accident. That's not an
Yep.
accident. I was saying to my dad the whole game, though, I'm like, hey, this fucking Houston team, they just won't go away, man. You know, you have this 13, 14 point lead. You get it to
Yep.
20, and that fucking pretty much ends it in the second half. But
Yep. Yep.
guys kept getting it down to 6 or 7, and you're like, holy shit, man, this could fucking, you know how this goes. In the last 2 or 3 minutes, they could win the game with a 6, 7 point lead. Only Duke, and that's what happened here. You get it to fucking 20 in the second half. I think it's fucking, it's the percent. Obviously, teams have done it, but your chances of coming back when you're down that much in the second half are very limited. But Houston, like I said, I'm going to give them a lot of credit though too. Because they're obviously an excellent team and they're here for a reason. But for selfish reasons, as a Duke fan, you look internally what you can control, and obviously it's painful. Like I said, also the refs not a favorable whistle. Like I said, for all those people that think that Duke gets a favorable whistle all the time, my God, horrendous some of those calls. And yeah, here we are, unfucking believable. Yeah, looking back at these plays here, man. Cooper Flag had a great block. That's when I thought the game was done. I'm like, hey, get a stop here.
Yep.
2:15 left, up 9. That's gonna be it, man. And what the hell happens on this play here? All right, yeah, they get a layup. So then, yeah, Duke is only up 7 at this point.
Just let my puppy out.
Yep. The nipple getting the block shot, and they hit the three, man. Oh, Jesus Christ! Stay down on your feet. You're 6'11". Holy fuck!
Yep.
But obviously, yeah,
Now,
that was the that's it, Uncle Dave. I mean, I don't know what more to say other than it's fucking just that's a horrendous loss.
all
Uh,
these morons now in the Duke fan boards. The freshmen didn't cost us the game. Not the point. You're not winning with freshmen. They're not as strong. You're just not. Nobody's done it since fucking Anthony Davis. You're not doing it. All right, 2015 they did it, but you know what? 2015 was different. There weren't these like fucking older teams. That Wisconsin team was like, you know, that team was like looking and moving in mud. This is different, man. The game's different now. You're not winning with freshmen. You're just not.
It's frustrating too, this loss too, because Duke, I thought, limited Houston's easy baskets. They played an excellent defensive game, I thought. The first half, they really frustrated the hell out of Houston. I mean, they really were playing great defense, but Houston, they
Yeah,
just were able to, they have enough shot makers where they got going, and they kind of
yeah.
loosened up in the second half. So what was the fucking
And
break?
then we responded by shooting the ball well.
Yeah, Duke,
You
it's
know,
not
and
like, yeah, it's not like they went cold or anything like that. Yeah. Yeah, Houston outplays Duke by 9 in the second half. Like I said, I had a bad feeling in my gut though when I'm like, hey, all right, we're up 12 here with that 2 minutes left in the first half. You keep it there. That's a fucking pretty nice solid lead there for the second half, and Houston gets it down to 6. I'm like, oh fucking shit, man. All
yeah,
right,
but we even got that game right where we wanted it.
yeah, you're up double digits again in the second half. But yeah, Cryer had an excellent game, 26 points. I mean, yeah, these Houston guys, they are good.
Yeah, we watched on a couple of rebounds. The fucking follow off the rebound and cut it to one. We watched.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing too. I think Duke kind of a little bit. I think in some of these 50-50 situations, we're a little flat-footed
Got to
getting
get
the
more than
ball and
7
things like
rebounds.
that.
He got 7. Knipple had 7, but where the fuck is Malawach?
That's what stands out to me. No rebounds for him in 21 minutes. And like I said,
Yep.
Coach Shire, I think, did not do the right thing pulling him out with 5 minutes left. I don't know what that logic was right there. I'm like, hey, it's 5 minutes left, and this game is up in the air right now. I don't take him out. I thought that
Yeah.
was not a great move right there. But yeah, the rebounds, that's obviously where this game I think is that's the difference right there. 9 plus 9 on the boards there. Uh,
Yeah.
the free throws, Duke gets more foul shots, so it's like you get more foul shots, you make more. So that's not the problem there. And like I said, it's
Yep.
it's so frustrating too because you win the turnover battle by 2, but the problem is you don't hit your one and you hit Proctor oh god the play where he dribbles off his knee. I'm like, oh my god,
Yep.
it's one of
Yep.
the thinking feelings you have. Just unfucking he didn't have a great game either. He was the guy kind of
Nah, he was awful tonight.
he was not that good tonight, is right.
And he misses the 1-on-1. He didn't look like he wanted it.
Yeah, he plays a little better. Obviously, I think they win this game. Him and Mahiawak, that's what stands out. Mahiawak, only 2 field goal attempts. It's like, God damn it, man, 4 or 5 from the line. So he got fouled a couple of times. So that's reason why his field, he only had two shots, obviously. But I would have loved to have seen them. I'm sure they were maybe hesitant to throw, a couple of these lobs around the rim because Houston defensively, their rotations and everything, they're excellent. They're as a unit, they play great defense. So
Right.
I understand that, but you know what? At the end of the day, he's 7-2. Maybe you get a couple fouls on these fucking guys, man. You put the ball on the rim
Yeah.
to this guy.
Well, we didn't do the pick and roll play. Only one time did we throw it
Yeah, I
up
was gonna
there.
say, and the time you did do it, he got fouled. They
Yeah,
went to the
but
line.
and
So
then he made his free throws. We don't, we just gave the fuck, we didn't, just gave the fucking game away.
Yeah, I think Coach Shire, like I said, I have to put some of this on him for sure. It's not,
Oh, definitely. It is on him. And in the press conference now, he's saying, well, it's what basketball's all about. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Just say
yeah.
we gave away a chance to play in the national championship, and us coaches will have more respect for you. Because you know what? That's what you fucking did tonight. The whole world knows that's what you did. So don't fucking sugarcoat it. Don't give me the Popovich interview. Well, why is Duncan off the floor? Well, that's what we do. No, that's not what you do. You don't take a top 10 player of all time off the fucking floor.
What do you
Sorry.
think? I obviously in the first half, there was nothing that jumped out to me that I think that he made. I don't think there was any mistakes he made necessarily in the first half. I think this game comes down to literally the last 5, 6 minutes of coaching on him. I think with the, like you said, this game comes down to the inbound. Your press inbounds here. I mean,
Yeah.
just totally clueless. I mean, it looked like they didn't practice anything. I mean, like what? It's one thing if you go out there and you try to execute something, the other team makes a great defensive play or they have a great counter. It just looked like you said, it looked like bad high school inbounds where you're just running to the baseline to take the ball. And then even if Duke inbounds the ball, they were in a horrendous spot, getting trapped in the corner. It's
Yeah,
like we
but they
can't
keep
get the
throwing it to the same spot. They never look to the left side of the floor. The one
yeah.
time they did, they got fouled.
It's like we can't get the ball close to the center of the court or at the elbow or something like that or on the wing. It
Well,
just
again, we set a fucking we don't even really set a screen. We're setting it 30 feet from the basket, and we start our cut with fucking 3 seconds out of five off the fucking cut.
yeah.
Just
And
fuck. I'm sorry, it's
I have to
stupid.
say, Uncle Dave, I thought too also when Houston has the technical foul where the guy hits the inbounds, I'm like, that's the fucking game right there. I'm like, this
Yep,
is it. They're gonna win
yep.
this fucking game. All right. They fucking
You go up six. He hits the free throw. You're up six,
Nipple makes the free throw. At that point, what is it at that point?
and then we come down. We take the clock down to like 48, and we don't get a bucket. They come down and hit a three with about 33 seconds left.
So Knippel hits a free throw. Duke is up 6 at this point with a minute
Yep.
15.
Yep. We
Knippel
take the
drives.
clock all the way down to like 48, and we
Yes.
don't get a bucket.
And Knippel gets his shot blocked there. And that's when they hit the
Right.
and then Zion
Right.
James throws the ball out of, he lobs it up, and then they fucking get the putback dunk. Then it's a
Yep.
1 point game. And then
Yep.
Proctor misses the 1-and-1.
But here's the thing: they called timeout before he threw the fucking lob out of to fucking flag. So here we are. We have all this time to talk about it, and we can't fucking execute it. I'm sorry. That's when you look at your guys in the huddle and you go, guys, you get the ball and you win.
Right, right. Just
I
get
don't
a
want to hear any
steal.
pussy bullshit.
Just-
Get the fuck open after a screen. You screen and roll back, or you fake screen and roll straight back. You don't roll back on an angle because then the defender can overplay. You know they're going to swallow the whistle there. Roll straight back, but nobody does.
Right.
Oh, we don't set screens anymore. Okay, great. How'd it work out for you?
What
All
really
right, good.
what kills me in this situation is the James turnover right here. You're up 3 with 30 seconds left.
Yep.
All you have to do in that situation is just inbound that they foul, all right? And you
Yep.
have to make the front end of a 1-on-1. You get it at 4 points with less than 30 seconds left right there. Your chances of winning go up exponentially. But no, then when it's a fucking 1 point game, then all the pressure's on the foul shooter at that point. You can't, there's no wiggle room at that point.
Yep.
Just, like I said, the James turnover right there, that to me is fucking absolutely horrendous. You could either call timeout there, or you could just take the delay, the 5 second inbound violation. All right, but at least it's a dead ball violation. They don't get a basket out of it necessarily. Yeah, it's just like I said. This last 2 minutes is just haunting.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
We can. I look back at the first half. Duke is just they have everything going for them. The only criticism I have, and it's not even criticism, it's just Houston last 3 possessions they make 3 3-point shots, and like I said, you have that sinking feeling in your stomach. You're like, fuck, could have had this to maybe a 12 or a 10 point lead. Instead, it's 6.
Yeah,
And
no doubt.
but Duke, I mean, they forced, in Houston the first half, like I said, all over them. They had 2 air balls, Houston in the first half.
Yep.
Houston had 2 droughts that were horrendous. They had 5 minutes with no basket and 3 minutes with no basket. So 8 minutes total in the first half with no scoring. I mean, you do
Yeah.
that in a game at any point in college, you're like, hey, you're gonna win the fucking game. 8 minutes with a team not scoring at all.
Yep.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I think in this game too, Flag, every time Roberts is on him, you got to take him to the cup. Every
Yep.
time. Every time. You're going to get an angle on this guy. And pump fake, he's going to fucking foul you, this guy. Roberts, like you said, should have been fouled out. It's a disgrace that was not like there was too much time, I think, where Flag was out too. I understand guys need a blow, but You have to fucking have guy out in maybe a minute or two. Bobby Hurley never fucking came out. All right, when
Nah, Bob really never came out.
never fucking came out. I understand Cooper Flagg's a 6'11" guy versus a guy who's 6 foot, so I understand he's got a lot more to lug around. But I'm sorry for the final four here. We have to find our second win.
Yep.
This
I
this
mean, there's nothing good about it. It's a horrible way to lose a game, and they deserve to lose. Not much you can say.
As a Duke fan, though, you're gonna. I mean, this is gonna like I said, it's gonna really chap your ass. You're gonna be thinking about this the whole off season. I mean, this is
Oh yeah, because it ruins a great season.
it does it does.
If you would have went out tonight and got your ass kicked, you'd be befuddled. But now you gave it away, so now it's worse.
You've mentioned it with a few teams this year. Clemson was
Yeah.
one. Just
Yep.
totally yet an excellent season.
Arkansas, another.
Yeah,
When you
excellent.
look at Texas Tech, another. When you
Yes,
give it away to get to the next round, you can taste it. I'm sorry, that's not good.
right, right.
And
That's why.
Now Duke joins the party. And if one of these teams gives it away on Monday night, it's not good enough.
Right.
Carolina's first year with Hubert Davis, great year. Gave it away. Sorry,
No,
not good
no,
enough.
no. And that's going to be honest. If Hubert doesn't win one, that's
Yep.
what will
That'll
always be remembered for.
that'll be the one.
It's like Duke in '98 against Kentucky. That one right there. That's another one where Duke just kind of they pissed that game away. Like you said, these and for anyone who's played any competitive thing or coached anything,
Yeah.
I'm sure you agree with Uncle Dave. These losses they cut worse than the wins give you satisfaction. I mean, there's
Oh,
no
sure.
doubt about it. It's these losses.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you
Yeah.
could relive obviously all your great victories and your wins and everything and the times you
Yeah.
won, county championship with Kings Park and everything. But I'm sure if I told you, name your 10 worst losses, you remember them like they were yesterday.
Oh yeah, I can remember the plays.
Yes,
Same.
you
It's
know.
the same shit.
But it's really disappointing too because I thought this was an opportunity. Coach Shire, if you win this championship, you're totally out of the Coach K shadow. You're your own man at that point, and it's your
Yep.
program. I think this, I
Yep.
think, it's unfair because it's obviously you get to compare to Coach K is it's impossible to live up to that. But you win this one, I think you get put in your own light, and now that totally got left. It's like when Steve Young won his first Super Bowl after Joe Montana. He totally
Yep.
got that monkey off his back. It's kind of a similar situation with this, I thought. For not now. Now you have to stew in this the whole off season. So
Yeah.
obviously it's
And you know
very
what? There's no way you have as good a team as you had this year.
no,
No way.
no. Like you said,
Because you know what? After a loss, people get bitter and they leave. So Caleb Foster, who really played well again tonight, who got in the lane anytime he wanted, had four
that was the thing. I
rebounds.
don't know why you didn't maybe have him in a little bit more.
Uh, and then the bottom line is, you sit there and a guy like that's going to leave because he played well in this tournament. He got to the rack a bunch, made some things happen. If Proctor's going to run away from the ball like he did, throw it into Caleb Foster. But you know what? They're not going to have as good a team next year. So again, I don't care what you do next year. I don't care if you get out of the gate 18-0. This one still creeps in on you, and you're going to sit there and go, ain't good enough. It's just
Yeah,
not.
yeah. And I talked about one of my concerns with this Duke team. As I said, they didn't have a true floor general, but you know what? I kind of went away from me as the season went on because I thought by committee this team was really good at taking care of the ball, and they
Yeah,
were.
Proctor's a point guard, and so does James.
Yeah, so I kind of
And
thought they were, by committee they were pretty good with it, and Knipple was able to handle it enough, where he could give some relief. It's obviously it's like I said, it's just one that's, next year obviously Duke will be in, they'll be a top 10 team again. But like you said, but with Knipple, Flag, and Maliwaki, and Proctor, you really had a special group, I thought, this year. And
yep.
this is obviously, when you have a team this good, you're this close to winning the whole thing. It's when you don't, especially when you're one game away from getting to the final game. And like you said, if Duke wins this game, I would have them favored over Florida. I really do. Like you said, I think Florida's
Well,
an excellent
I
team.
think Florida just doesn't play great defense. I thought Duke was a better team, but you just gave away a title. So I think Houston's going to beat them. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Florida because Samson acted like a dick, but I think they're going to beat them.
So yeah, we'll transition to that, Uncle Dave. What do you foresee now Monday night? This game with Houston and Florida. What do you think
Well,
of this matchup?
I depends which team is more fresh. Both teams looked really, both Florida looked a little tired today a couple of times. They left Clayton out too long in the first half. He had a 4-minute stint with
I
Clayton on
will
the
say
bench,
this:
and
Auburn and Florida, they start out. Both teams were really hot offensively. A lot of
yeah,
these situations where you have the stage and everything. Teams might start out kind of cold from the floor, but both Auburn and Florida looked really really loose. Shooting the ball. Uh,
sure.
So Florida, obviously Clayton is going to be the best player on the floor. So I mean, if let's say hypothetically Houston's able to keep him under 22, maybe I think they have a great chance to win. It's going to be an interesting game. Obviously, neither of these teams have played each other this year, so you don't have that. With the Florida and Auburn game, there's so much familiarity with that matchup there. So it's kind of it's when like Duke when they played against Maryland in 2001 in the Final Four. You play each other that third extra, that third game, you really know each other. But
Yeah, I feel like Florida gets the tempo their way. It'll definitely help. But the bad news is Houston's defense is so good. Again, Duke tonight doesn't get 70. So, I mean, if you keep Florida under 70, I don't think their defense keeps Houston under 70. Houston's not that good an offensive team, but, you know, what are you going to say? I mean, you turned the ball over, you didn't get it in, and so Houston got open shots out of it. It just was awful. And they all stood there and watched, and nobody dug in and got a rebound. Proctor, who's 6'5", jumps to the roof, doesn't get a board. Fucking Flag and Malawatch watch on that fucking rebound. Or Roberts just wanted it more. And again, they're men. And I say it once, I said it 1,000 times, and I'm gonna say it again next year when all you fucking jackasses out there get all excited about these freshmen, all these teams that are like heavy freshmen, 4 or 5 guys deep, and blowing teams out, throwing lobs, running up and down, ha ha, NBA pick. Doesn't matter when the ball gets thrown up. NBA pick don't matter.
no, it's so true.
Doesn't fucking matter. When there's a loose ball on the ground, at the end of the game, all we had to do was want it and get the ball in bounds. That's just toughness. And we didn't do it. We didn't have it. They came for us. We got scared. We gagged it away and we chicken shitted out. And no one ever sealed their guy and said, "Give me the fucking ball."
It's kind of it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, Uncle Dave. You kind of were warning about this the whole season.
Yep.
Like, look,
Yep.
like
Wondered about it the whole fucking year.
and winning time here, you're gonna have them going against grown men. And like you said, Houston, they never panicked. I will give them credit to that. They looked like
Yep.
they knew what they were doing the whole game.
You tell me if you did that to LJ Cryer, he's not going to seal his guy and get the ball.
Exactly right. Exactly right. What you
Or
just said.
Roberts, or Roberts would flash and say, "Give me the fucking ball."
Give me the fucking ball. I'm gonna get the ball, right?
He's been there for 6 years, which I don't know how that's legal because I thought COVID gave you a fifth year. I never heard of a 6th-year guy, but he's been there six
Right,
years. I think it should be fucking illegal by now.
right,
But
right.
this is one of those games, and we again, Houston didn't win that game. We
But
fucking
that's the
gave it away.
difference, Uncle Dave, between, like you said, the 18, 19-year-old and the 24,
Yeah,
23-year-old. That's the difference
yeah.
right there. The one guy says,
24 year
the
old.
ball, and they're going to foul me. There's nothing they can do about it. I'm going to get the fucking
Proctor's skinny. Hoop is 18.
right,
Kneppel's 19.
right,
Roberts is 24.
right, 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 right. And in winning
Yeah,
time, that's a big difference, that 4 or 5 years right there.
yeah, it's male strength.
Yeah. But it's
You know,
also man poise, though, and a man brain versus a
you're
kid
never going to
brain.
get a shooter as good as Kneppel for
No,
next year.
I know, I
You're
know.
not going to get a player as good as Flag. So right there, you're done.
Yeah,
You're not having the same success.
no, it's true.
Unless it's a weak season for veteran teams, which I doubt. We'll find some veteran teams. I'm sure St. John's is going to load up and be veteran again.
Cal's
And
gonna do the same thing too. That's gonna
yep,
happen.
Cal's going to try to veteran up. And they're all, yeah, although his best player just fucking left. So we'll see. And the portal's a mess already. So and guys are already leaving. They don't care. They're leaving winning situations, which means they don't care about winning. They're leaving winning situations where they start. So they don't care. So hey, it's just going to be a fucking mess. And it's gonna be hard to get excited in November when all the fucking
Uh,
casuals are going. Oh, look at those freshmen running around! Great, throw a lob, throw a fucking lob versus Alcorn State. It's fucking
right,
great.
right.
Beat Davidson in your building by 25 because they're not
It
Davidson
doesn't mean
anymore.
shit though. We've talked about this on this show, folks. It does not mean dick at
Doesn't
this
mean
point in
shit.
the season. It
November
does
and
not.
December games are great for entertainment, but they don't mean shit.
Yes, they
And the
did.
fact, and the
Yeah,
fact, look at the SEC. SEC has one team in there, but they're probably not even going to win a title. Don't tell me they're the greatest conference ever. Get the fuck out of here. It's not even
right.
close.
Yeah,
The fuck out of here.
you would have thought by the SEC love that it was going to be the whole Final Four matchup was going to be SEC.
Exactly. But everybody just blew them all the way. And it's like, you know what? Sorry, man, you didn't get it done. So, like, you're going to have one team tomorrow night. You had a great year, but you didn't deserve 14 teams in a tournament. And, here you are. So, I mean, just a fucking
But
disgrace that Duke lost that game, though.
the play, Uncle Dave, where I think it was Brown, he turns the ball over and Roberts misses the layup. It's like those kind of things that were happening in this game. Like, all right, Duke's going to win this game here. John
Yeah.
Roberts is missing a fast break layup on a reverse there for his left hand. I'm like, God, all right, this
Yeah,
is
Proctor swiped that and gave him a little grief.
but what's really sticks out to me, Uncle Dave, is between Mollywalk and Proctor, one rebound,
Yeah,
one rebound.
yeah.
What the fuck
And
was that? You have two
and
starters and one 6'5", the other 7'2", and one rebound, and
and
there's
my yeah, and my problem is again, Proctor it's a good all year, but I kept telling you in the tournament, Duke shot the shit out of it all tournament. You got to win a game where you don't shoot well. They didn't shoot well tonight and they lost.
No.
And all that, they still should have won.
All that you should have won. I still think easily. Like you said, it's just
Should have won
all
by five or six, easy.
yeah. 30, oh, God, 30 seconds and you're up three. All you
Yeah,
have to
you're up
do is
four. You're up 14 with that 6 point play.
yes. Yes.
That fucking changes the whole fucking game. As soon as the guy called it, I go, here we go. I
Up,
texted Connor and Gordon because we were in that fucking knockout pool, and I'm like, here we go.
up nine. Up nine with 2:17 left. I'm like, all right,
Yep. Yep.
this feels like a win. But
Up up six with 48 left's even better.
yeah, yeah. Then up three with 30 seconds left. All right, it's like, all right, but like I said, Houston, they made, Cryer and Sharp, they made big shots down the stretch. But like I said, the 3 points up, three with 30 seconds left. All you have to do is just inbound the ball. They can't play all right aggressive trap and see what happens. They pretty much have to hack you right away. They can't afford for the ball to get out of there and you burn 10 seconds off the clock. So they have to foul pretty much immediately there. All you have to do is just hit your 1-and-1 and that's it. But
What I always notice, and I bet you Coach K said this to Shire, when you look back on your career, like those first couple of times you get in those games, sometimes you panic and you do things you don't normally do. So again, tonight, Gumba doesn't play. Gumba's a great offensive player, had a couple of assists while he was in there. He couldn't have rebounded any worse than Malawach, but all of a sudden you fell in love with Brown. And I love Brown, but you should have still got Gumba some minutes because we still needed the board and we're getting out rebounded and you go in with a 6'5" guy.
yeah, he only played
Uh,
5 minutes tonight. Yeah.
so that's a problem. And then you just totally forgot about Isaiah Evans. And you got to find out if he's going to make a shot or not. Now I know, like I know Houston. Everybody's afraid of Houston, but Houston's offense is fucking retarded at best. It's not great. So you know what? Let's sit here and let's find out if Evans can get heated because he's the kind of guy. If he's heated on a night, it's a totally difference maker. So
What
again, he got away from some of the subs. He's really crushed Evans the last couple of games, and so Evans is going to leave. That's the way kids are today. He's
Yeah,
going to leave.
he only plays 2 minutes. He's not staying for that.
Yeah.
He only
So he's
gets
not staying for that. He hardly played last game either. And don't tell me about defense. They played great defense tonight. It was good enough. Let's find out if the 6'7" kid can get a fucking rebound. He had played better D at the end of the year. Didn't even get a shot tonight. Gillis takes a really quick shot tonight. Looked like he was trying to get his for a second. Then he makes that foul. It's all that bullshit. The same old
yeah,
bullshit
that
everywhere.
technical was horrendous. The guy's boxing out.
Yep.
He doesn't know that his face is right behind there. For
Yep.
Christ's sake, come on.
Yep.
It's just and what really frustrates me, Uncle Dave, too, is Knipple 5 of 9. I would have you got to get him a few more looks. I think he was
Yep.
3 of 5 from the 3 point line. You got to get this guy's a great offensive player. And by the way, if he gets a guy on his hip, he's great finishing around the rim. So he's good with the pull up game too. I'm like, you got to get him more than 9 shots. I think in the second half. I don't know what we're doing with that there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to get him more
I
looks. And he's great.
Steve,
He's great off a flare screen, or a curl or a pin down. You got to get him some looks like that.
one time tonight we ran the baseline and inbounded the ball to the left side. We got fouled and scored, and then we never did it again.
Oh God, yeah. It's just like you said. You've watched a lot of basketball, NBA, college, high school, all levels right here. As a Duke fan, obviously you've watched way more Duke basketball than I. But this is definitely up there, Uncle Dave. I'm sure. I'm sure it's a top tenner.
No, it's the worst. I think this is the worst one. This is the worst one I've
There you
seen.
go. All right. This is a man who's watched Duke basketball since 1981, folks, and he's saying it might
Yep.
be the worst.
This is the worst one I've ever seen because you had this
Especially
game right in
considering
your
all the
bag.
stakes, Uncle Dave. It's a Final Four game too. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a Final Four game. The size of the game does matter. The Kentucky game in '98 was a pain in the ass. They were down 16. They came back and won. The UConn game, just because the substitutions, Corey Maggette hardly played. Coach K did what Shire did tonight, but Coach K had already had 2 titles, so
and
that
it's
was a
like
little weird.
UConn '04, Uncle Dave. It's like, all right, the officiating was just so atrocious in that game. I kind of,
Duke's winning that game the whole day.
yeah, and that was kind of a back and forth game. It wasn't like Duke. I don't think Duke at any point was up. I think like 15 or 16 at that point.
No,
So that was a
no,
close game the whole game. That '04 game, I believe,
no. It
against.
was a disgrace tonight. Disgrace.
Yeah.
But the people on the Duke fan page don't say that. Like, fuck you, bro. You
Yeah.
should be fucking
You got to
happy.
be
You guys
honest
losing
with yourself, right? Exactly. You got to be self-reflective and honest with yourself here. You can't.
Proctor didn't cost us the game. Yeah, he kind of did. He sucked tonight.
Yeah. No, that's not the whole story. Like I said, he had a bad turnover. He missed the front end of a 1-on-1. He didn't shoot well, obviously, but it's not all him. Like I said, when you look that disorganized, like you said, Uncle Dave, in the last 2 minutes of of trying to get the ball inbounds and seal the game, you got to put that on the coach. A lot of it.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. You got to fucking have better inbounds plays for that, getting the ball inbounds.
And
And you
like
just
you
can't
said,
do it.
if you're Cooper Flag, you just got to say, hey, look, everyone clear out. Just get me the ball at the foul line here. I'm going to seal my man and just throw it to my
Yep.
hand. I'm going to get the ball. That's
Yep.
all you need to do in that situation. If when in doubt, if your inbounds looks that terrible, then do that. And it's like I said, doubly frustrating because you had a lot of opportunity there with the inbound. You had the upside of being able to run the baseline, and you still, in which that case you can get a really good angle if you can run the baseline, and still wasn't able
Yeah.
to do it. So
Yeah. But when you run the baseline, you get a great angle.
yeah, then you get exactly what you want. You could throw the ball, across the baseline to another man who's out of bounds. You could do so much, and there was just no creativity, I think, with inbounding the
No,
ball.
no.
It was just very predictable. Like I said, it looked like you've been around bad basketball. It looked like bad high school inbounds play.
Yep. Yeah.
Just
They
run,
never changed it either.
run to the corner and open court turnover in the middle of the lane. It's just
Don't fucking screen. Don't screen anybody.
it was exactly what Houston wanted you to do. That's exactly what
Yep.
happened.
And don't screen. Don't change anybody. Don't change your cuts. And then you're out of bounds play with down 3.5 seconds left. That's what you get.
Yeah.
You throw a fucking Hail Mary that they're going to steal.
That's the thing. Duke does not even get a decent look. Like you said, he could have inbounded it to close to half court. You can
You
get a
didn't even get
dribble
a
or two.
decent pass. You
Yeah.
just, why are you throwing a lob with 3.5 seconds? You can get like 5 dribbles.
Exactly. Well, obvious, and that's what you say to whoever's inbounding the ball there. Like, look, you don't have to throw a Hail Mary up here for Christ's sake. It's not like there's 0.8 seconds left here. There's 3.5 seconds left. You can get a
Yeah, it's
really good
fucking
look.
awful.
You can get a screen on ball even with that amount of time left. You can do plenty of things. And just like you said, just horrendous. You didn't even get a good look to try to tie the game. But once Houston took the lead, I'm like, shit, this is a game where you've had to lead the whole game and then you lose it at the end there. That's not good right there. That's usually, teams that get that type of lead that late in the game, it's usually a done deal. But like I said, I'm going to also point out once again, folks, before we sign off here, the officiating, Zion James getting clobbered by Jawan Roberts, no foul on that play. Cooper Flag, that play right there where he's going for that rebound on the missed one-on-one by Proctor. That's absolutely not a foul. Bill Rafter even said it, by the way, not a foul. Totally agree with that. And those obviously are the two big ones that stand out to me right there. And Proctor dropping it off his leg. It just just those things are going to haunt us Duke fans for quite a while there.
Oh, yeah, it was awful.
Is
That's a
there any
bad
other
one.
missed calls, Uncle Dave, that you were recalling in this game?
No,
I think
no,
it's those are
yeah,
the
there's missed
top two.
calls early in the game and
Yeah.
loud levels of contact. But again, you got to have better press offense, a lot of execution on the coaching in that game, and a really bad call to give them the lead. But you know, shouldn't have come down to that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Proctor looked scared shitless
Yeah,
the
he
whole
did.
night.
Like you said, it didn't make sense. He's running away from the ball on the inbounds. I'm like, why?
Yep,
Why we cannot be having that?
not once either. Every play, it's designed that way.
It's so terrible too because Knipple, that's the guy who you want at the free throw line there. Or Flag is a good foul shooter too.
Yep.
Proctor's not. He's been shaky at the line the whole season. You didn't want him having the ball necessarily, but at the same token, you can't have him running away from it.
No.
So yeah, all right, Uncle Dave. I guess we'll wrap it up there.
Yep.
Quite a night. Exciting
Yep.
stuff. Obviously, congratulations to Houston and Florida. They'll be playing in the championship game Monday night, and
Yep.
we'll have a show post game for that one as well. But
Yep.
obviously, for us Duke fans, we're in mourning here for several reasons. Left the
Yep.
Blaze on the floor, and like I said, I really like Coach Shire, but I think
You left the ring on the floor tonight.
yes, I would say that the I don't know if you thought Uncle Dave, but him checking out Molly Walk with 5 minutes left, I did not like that substitution. That one just really stuck.
I don't know why when we're getting killed on the board, we're
Right,
doing that.
right. I know we had no rebounds up to this point, but you have to, like you said, go with the guy who got you there. So you have to put him out there.
Plus, on the offensive end of the floor, he's a rim runner.
Exactly.
Brown is not.
And he's great around the rim too with blocking shots and everything. All right, you all you basketball fans out there, live long and prosper, and may the force be with you.
Yes.